Welcome to my channel, everyone. Today we're going to be going over the Queen of Heaven. But before we get into that, I do regular biblical videos on Mondays, and then a Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible series on Thursdays, and then other Warhammer 40k content with that, and a comedy skit and stuff. But anyways, so I want to start with Job 38:31, and why I bring up these entities, these gods and stuff like that. Well, first, you got to know your enemy, right? I mean, that's the first thing. Second is we need to start targeting prayers towards these guys, right? And start praying against what they're doing and their influences and stuff like that, right? So, anyways, Job 38:31. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion? So basically, binding up these influences and what they're doing, right? And then also loosing the bands of blessing and stuff like that, right? Is what it's talking about. So, we need to start targeting prayers towards these entities, right? And then praying for blessings and stuff. Okay. Now we're going to get into the meat potatoes of today's video. Isaiah 34:14. Let me read the whole thing here, actually. 11 through 15. But the cormorant and bittern shall possess it. The owl also and raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out it upon the line of confusion, and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there. And all her, pay attention, her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces. I want you to pay attention to this, thorns and nettles and brambles. It's going to become very important with the groves. But anyways, yeah. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof. And it shall be a habitation of dragons, and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island. And the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find herself a place of rest. Okay, what is this screech owl? It is this Hebrew word, Liyliyth. I'll prove it to you. Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, right here. Screech owl. From Lael, a night specter. Screech owl. Now, there is a species called the screech owl, but this is not what it's talking about. The Hebrew word is Liyliyth. Now, Liyliyth is not the first wife of Adam, okay? That's bunk. But she is mentioned in the Bible, and we're going to see who this entity is, known as the Queen of Heaven. But let me finish this up here. Okay, there shall the great owl make her nest, and lay, and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her meat. So this is like a breeding ground, but where is it? Gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures be. Make her nest, lay, and hatch. I wonder if there's a holiday that has to do with eggs. Interesting. But anyways, we'll get into that. So Jeremiah 44:19. And when he burned incense to the Queen of Heaven. This isn't Mary, by the way, folks. I wonder why they call her Queen of Heaven. Just saying. Be very careful of calling Mary, Jesus' mother, the Queen of Heaven, because you're talking about this entity, the screech owl, right? But anyways, okay, and poured out drink offerings unto her, and did we make her cakes to worship her, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. So it's Queen of Heaven. Yeah. Queen of Heaven was given to a number of ancient sky goddesses, in my opinion. They're all the same, in my opinion. Well, not necessarily, because you have the Pleiades there. They're called the Seven Sisters. So, but The ones that it's talking about here are all the same, in my opinion. I'll show you. Throughout the ancient Mediterranean and ancient Near East, goddesses known to have been referred to by the title include Inanna. We just saw Isis and Inanna having the same body type, right? Okay, Anat, Isis, Nun, and Astarte, and possibly Asherah. This is your Ashtaroth, these trees and stuff like that are associated. Okay, in Greco and Roman times, Hera and Juno bore this title. Forms and content of worship varied. Okay. Inanna was a Sumerian goddess of love and war. Despite her association with mating and fertility of humans and animals, Inanna was not the mother goddess and is rarely associated with childbirth. Inanna was also associated with rain and storms with the planet Venus. In the Venus tablet, Amaskuda, Skukwa, Dukwa, I don't know, anyways, believed to have been compiled around the mid 17th century BCE, referred to the planet Venus in the tablet as the bright queen of the sky or bright queen of heaven. So, we have Astarte and Asherah, same thing pretty much. Okay, the goddess and the queen of heaven. Notice these entities are all called the queen of heaven, not the queens of heaven, but the queen of heaven. That's why I believe, one of the reasons why I believe they're the same person. And I'll show you another reason why they're the same person. But the goddess, the queen of heaven, whose worship Jeremiah so vehemently opposed, may have been possibly Astarte. Astarte is the name of the goddess known as northwestern Semitic regions. By the way, Easter, I know people like to say it comes from Ishtar. That is not true. It actually comes from another saying of this goddess's name, Sotre, or something like that. But anyways, I'll get to that. Well, you guys get the point here. Queen of Heaven. Now, I want you to show you. I bring up Brahma because he was born from a golden egg. Okay. Brahma, one of the major gods of Hinduism from 500 BCE to 500 CE, who was gradually eclipsed by Vishnu, Shiva, and the great goddess in her multiple aspects. Interesting. But anyways, I'm associated with the Vedic creator god, Prajapati, whose identity he assumed. Ready? Brahma was born from a golden egg. Here's a question. What do eggs have to do with bunny rabbits? Bunny rabbits don't lay eggs. Well, I'll tell you. So bunny rabbits are used in the fertility holiday because bunny rabbits are like the fastest reproducing animal on the planet. Okay, why are eggs used? Because you're going to see a lot of these gods, right, were born from eggs. Easter. You see why I don't follow Easter, right? I follow the holidays that God prescribed in the Bible. Okay, Easter is not a Christian holiday. I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's not. Eggs and bunny rabbits have nothing to do with Jesus. Okay, Passover does, right? Passover has everything to do with Jesus. But yet, the mainstream church is celebrating Easter instead of Passover. And people wonder why I rag on them so much. But anyways, Easter is about the fertility goddess and the dying and resurrecting sun god. But anyways, I digress. Yeah. Now we're going to get into the starfire. Viewer discretion is advised because this is pretty gross. Did I? Okay, let me bring this over here too. Okay. We'll go this one first. Okay, starfire ceremony. It has been observed that during the height of the Sumerian Egyptian timelines, Inanna and stuff like that, right? There were those in the priestly caste that would harvest women's cycle fluid that for the purpose of carrying out a starfire ceremony in which the Anunnaki races and others were drinking the cycle fluid for the purpose of increasing physical vitality and longevity. During the lunar transfiguration process of the sacral center for female biology, this cycle fluid memory has surfaced for compassionate witnessing for the purpose of reclaiming starfire codes. It's DNA stuff, right? It's basically what it's about. Taking on that false communion, I guess you can say. Okay, the following is a placeholder for continued research. Okay, reference Genesis of Grail Kings. From the viewpoint of ancient civilizations, primarily Sumerian and Egyptian, a substance called starfire was considered to be nothing less than the life-giving extract from the divine psychofluid of the goddess, of the Screech Owl. In original form, starfire was the lunar psychofluid essence of one of the 14 birth goddesses. But even in the mundane, menstruum contains the most valuable and endocrinal secretions of the pineal and pituitary glands. The Oxford English Dictionary even goes so far as to describe the psychofluid action as a alchemical parallel with the transmutation into gold. In ancient Egypt, now we're getting into Isis, right? And other parts of the Mediterranean, psychofluid was ritually collected from the priestesses, known as the Scarlet Woman. These women were known in the original as beloved ones, via various translations as that word. Originally, the earliest patriarchs were apparently weaned on the psychofluid of the goddess, aka Scarlet Woman, in order to ensure their longevity and abilities. Okay. So Starfire, living gently. Sure. Okay. Starfire, the real beauty of being a woman. This is the information that your mothers could have used and your daughters have right to know. Hello, my name is Catherine Cunningham. I am a psychofluid educator. My work is designed to open women to the rest of wisdom and power available in our cycle. The most would have used that most would have us ignore. So, anyways, I'll go ahead and stop that there because you guys get the point. And it all comes from this right here. The Screech Owl. Okay. And before we get into that, I want to show you why I say it's the same person. So we have Isis, right? She's got her wings. She's got like a bird / human body, right? Well, of course, we see here Screech Owl, right? Find herself a place of rest. Where is it? And if you notice here, check this one out. She's got wings. She's got these little horns with the symbol of the sun. It's either the sun or the moon. I believe it's the sun when it's like this. Anyways. And now we have Inanna. Or Ishtar. Inanna, Ishtar. Same thing, I guess. But I use Inanna because that's what they usually use, is Inanna. But if you notice, she's got owl feet and wings. And not only that, see if I can find it. She sometimes has these little horns. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. You see these? Ah, but where is it? Darn it! There's a good one. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. But yeah. Anyways, there you go. And you see, she's got what it looks like to be an ankh. So, in my opinion, at least Isis and Inanna are the same thing. Oh, wait. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Okay. Ancient origins. The ancient pagan origins of Easter. See? Not the only one who's saying that. Easter is a festival and holiday celebrated by millions of people around the world who honor the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, described in the New Testament as having occurred 3 days after his crucifixion at Calvary. It is also the day that children excitedly wait for Easter Bunny to arrive and deliver their treats of chocolate eggs. The day upon which Easter is held varies from year to year and corresponds, or let me just get to the crux of it. According to the new Unger's Bible Dictionary, the word Easter is of Saxon origin. Esotra, or Esotra, the goddess of spring, whose honor sacrifices were often offered about Passover time each year. By the 8th century, Anglo-Saxons had adopted the name to designate the celebration of Christ's resurrection. However, even among those who maintain that Easter has pagan roots, there is some disagreement over which pagan tradition the festival emerged from. By the way, it's the same thing from Egypt. Egypt has one. Samaria, Akkadian, and stuff like that. They vary somewhat differently, but a lot of them evolve eggs. Okay. There's some disagreement. Hold on. According to some scholars, such as Dr. Tony Nugent, teacher of theology and religious studies at Seattle University and Presbyterian minister, the Easter story comes from the Sumerian legend of Dumuzi, or Tammuz, and his wife, Inanna, Ishtar. Now, I wanted to bring this up because you see this in Isis and Osiris. Here we are, we have Ishtar and Tammuz, right? Or Inanna and Tammuz. And what you see with Baal, right? Baal takes over after Lucifer fell. When Lucifer tried to fall or ascend into heaven and all that stuff, he fell. God took him down, right? And this character Baal comes out of nowhere. So I think this is his mother, by the way. Ishtar is Tammuz's mother, or you could say Baal and Asherah, right? And I think this is speculation, so let me say that she was Lucifer's wife, but then when he fell, she wanted her son, her favorite, probably her favorite son, to take power. That's what happened. Because then you see Baal come up out of nowhere, who in my opinion is Tammuz, Osiris, and stuff like that. Anyways, like I said, speculation. Okay. After Inanna has been missing for 3 days, an assistant goes to the gods for help. Finally, one of them, Enki, creates 2 creatures who carry the plant of life and water of life down to the underworld. the deep, sprinkling them on Inanna and Dumuzi, and resurrecting them, and giving them power to return to the earth as the light of the sun for 6 months. See? And after the 6 months are up, Tammuz returns to the underworld of the dead, remain there for another 6 months, and Ishtar pursues him, prompting the water god to rescue them both. I wonder who that is. Could that be the deep? Anyways, and Ishtar pursuing him. Thus were the cycles of winter, death, and spring life. So, Easter starts it. December 25th ends it. So, whose birthday is on December 25th? Because in the Mazzaroth, the 7th month is the virgin birth. And in the zodiac, the 7th month is Virgo or virgin. And if you don't know, September means 7, or sept means 7. Why are we saying his birthday's on December 25th? Jesus' birthday. You see why I rag on the mainstream church? They're getting you here. You know what? I'm going to bring it up. Right here. Matthew 24:25. For many shall come in my name, the name of Jesus, saying that Jesus Christ is the Christ. Ready? And shall deceive many, leading them into other pagan holidays, right? To other gods. And then, you hear it, well, I'm still celebrating his birthday. I'm just celebrating Jesus' birthday. Okay, we'll do it on September. You know what I mean? Not December. Not on the same birthday as Tammuz and Cyrus and all that, right? The dying and resurrecting sun god. We need to start doing what the Bible tells us to do, right? He prescribed holidays for us. He did, right? But yet the church says, well, we have it on our authority to change it. What authority does the church have to change it? I better stop. Yeah. The goddess of groves. A few months ago, a friend wrote about a dream she had. A very ancient seeming dream. She was in a traditional garb of some sort, eyes veiled, and the line with 3 other people, all whom were attending the great tree. The rest of the dream explored the importances of the tree to these ancient people. She found herself upon walking, she was struck with one word, Acadia. After reading this dream, provided the following commentary. You should Google Asherah, the Queen of Heaven, the goddess of groves. Her Akkadian name was Astratu, Astarte, Inanna, Isis. They're all called the Queen of Heaven and of groves. Just want to put that out there. But now, 2 Chronicles 34:7. And when he had broken down the altars and the groves, and he had beaten the graven images into powder, and cut down all the idols throughout all the land of Israel, he returned to Jerusalem. So, notice the groves. It's this goddess worship right here. And Asherah is kind of like the Hebrew. It's a Hebrew Semitic goddess. and of course, not of the Bible, right? So this is, and you wonder why God was so harsh with Israel, right? But anyways, Micah 5:14, and I will cut off the cities of thy land and thrown down of the strongholds. Talking about all these people who worship the goddess and everything, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. Yeah. Acts 19:27. So that not only this our craft is endangered to be set at naught, to be destroyed, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana should be despised, and her magnificence should be destroyed. Pay attention to this. Whom all Asia and the world worshipeth. So every time you see Queen of Heaven, whether what religion it is, in my opinion, is the Screech Owl, Liyliyth, Isis, Astarte, Inanna, Ashereth, right? And we're going to get in, next week, we're going to get into Baal, who he is and what was going on with him. Yeah, here's Diana. Is a goddess of Roman Hellenistic religion, primarily considered a patroness of the countryside and nature, hunters, wildlife, childbirth, crossroads, the night, and the moon. She's equated with the Greek goddess Artemis and absorbed much of Artemis mythology early in Roman history, including the birth on the island of Delos to parents Jupiter and Latona, and twin brother Apollo, though she had an independent origin in Italy. Okay, what? Okay, she equated. There's something I was going to bring up here. Mythology early. Oh, yes. Pay attention to this. Island of Delos. Yeah. They shall call the nobles thereof the kingdom, but none shall be there, and her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles and fortresses thereof. It shall become a habitation of dragons. Okay. And the wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island. Interesting. And the satyr shall cry to his fellow, the screech owl shall rest there, and find herself a place of rest. Interesting. Okay. Okay, Diana is considered a virgin goddess and protector of childbirth. Historically, Diana made up a triad with other Roman deities. Aegera, the water nymph, her servant and assistant midwife. Verbius, the woodland god. Diana is revered in modern neo-pagan religions, including Roman neo-paganism, Strigeria, Wicca, and in the ancient, medieval, and modern periods, Diana has been considered a triple deity, merged with the goddess of the moon, Luna, Selene, and the underworld, usually Hecate. We know who that is, the deep, right? But anyways, Judges 3:7. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgat their God, and served Balaam and the groves, Baal and Ashtoreth, or the Screech Owl and Baal. I don't know what, Inanna and Baal. I don't know. I'll have to see what the Akkadian name would be for him. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. We see those groves again. All right. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, you know what? I'll read this real quick. I'm always talking about the commandments of God and stuff like that, right? Well, this is how simple. This is how simple it is. You know, the love of Jesus is simple. Okay. Matthew 7:12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. So um do unto others the way you want to be treated. Ready? For this is the law and the prophets. Simple. Right? It's simple. If people are making it difficult, then it's wrong. Right? So I just want to point that out there. And just like his holy days, they're simple. Keeping the Sabbath, a glorified day off. That's really what it is. Of course, you read your Bible and stuff like that, but that's what the Sabbath is. It's a glorified day off. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why people just hate it so much. You know, I understand not everyone can do it, but pray. Pray to God. Say, if this is your will for me, lead the way, right? But, anyways, we need to just follow the Word of God, right? Follow Jesus. Stop following men. This includes me. You can listen to what we have to say, but let Jesus confirm things, right? Because we need to read and study His Word, man. We can't keep trusting the same people who are lying to us, or at least don't have the knowledge to give to us, I mean, just look at Lucifer. It literally calls him a man, but yet the mainstream church says, nope, that's Satan. It literally calls him a man. Well, right after the Lucifer stuff. You know what I mean? I better stop. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.